In today's world of ad-driven social media, there are certain subjects we're not supposed to mention. A mere whisper of a forbidden topic could lead to consequences, overt or not. This isn't about truth, but control and your comfort zone. But it's mostly about being ad-friendly. Rosemary's Baby is such a film we're not supposed to talk about in mixed company, even remember. That's because it dared to showcase 3 subjects we still tiptoe around today, where one may not be mixed with the other 2. Because of our AI overlords and the sensitivities of those who programmed it, Rosemary's Baby is a pariah in many circles, social or political alike. Depending how you look at the film, it's a story about the occult, social anxieties, or a not too subtle reference about making decisions. What gives the film its quality is you have the final choice to pick what frightens you. Unfortunately, I do not have the liberties to use commonly used words. Therefore, I bring you a much more friendly video of Rosemary's Baby I first posted in 2021. Be warned, the alternative theories mentioned within may cause anxiety, rage, and disbelief. But that's why you're here, I hope. And kindly consider a like, share, or subscribe if you enjoy this video. Rosemary's Baby is sometimes described as the scariest non-horror movie ever made. This was because we never see any violence, on-screen deaths, or gore. It's all psychological. But that doesn't mean there isn't anything to be squeamish about. There's plenty of cringe moments that I describe as social anxieties. The film has a laundry list of topics that's meant to stoke anxiety in us as the audience. Nosy and intrusive neighbors, pressure to keep up the household, pressure to add to the household, clinically planning dates to build up the household, pressure to look and act a certain way, putting up false faces when having company when you rather be alone, problems with work, problems with home, awkward discussions about whether to go through with the 9-month plan. These are everyday pedestrian problems that could work in a melodrama or even comedy, but we react much differently if we feel we're eavesdropping on a protagonist. I haven't forgotten other cues, conversations, or circumstances you'd expect in a horror film. There's lore building when Hutch gives his exposition about the weird history of the apartment building, Terry's leap, or push to the pavement below. Stories of sudden blindness, comas, and end of life. What's most interesting is I don't think they faze the audience. It's the mundane things that can happen to any of us any day that make us squirm in our seats. But other more unordinary, generally fictional circumstances we hope are extremely uncommon are taken at face value. These common horror movie tropes are almost a relief to us, to take our minds away from the real world. Then there's that it's not a dream sequence. Rosemary, her husband, Satan, and a room full of old people without a thing to wear are presented as a maybe dream that lures us to see things through Rosemary's cloudy vision. The mix of the occult and Western mainstream spiritual ideals may have received much, much more harshly then. Still, while we may be intrigued with the incongruity today, it may have approached heresy and made many uncomfortable sitting in theaters. We see hints of mockery with Guy soon before he makes comments about the visit of a cultural icon. He thinks the television event is a good place for his Yamaha commercial. Was it because the skeptical, self-centered actor sees the world as an act, or is he trying especially hard to fit in with his new neighbors? As soon as we get through the surreal not a dream, Guy gives his explanation of the scratches. We find ourselves feeling awkward and uncomfortable because we know the truth. His answer just comes across as creepy, quite creepy, but it's played straight up, as if it was a normal conversation anyone would have. Only when we watch the film the second time do we know the truth. And Guy's performance, taking credit for the devil's work, is seen as very wicked, betraying Rosemary for an ulterior motive. Rosemary's expecting situation is more than a plot device. What's interesting, her condition is used to raise the stakes of the story, and this usually comes at the end of the first act. The second act begins with Rosemary introducing herself with that awful haircut. There's much subtext here, whether it's about conformity, the desire to be looked more in line with her status, or foreshadowing her emotional breakdown with changes in her physical appearance. The act begins immediately with more awkwardness between Rosemary and Guy. Guy is literally depicted as crippled, as he is as a husband or father. Even made in 1968, there are still many cultural references we can relate to, such as making medical conclusions on your own. Rosemary reads books while we will browse the internet today. Her doctor implores her to not do that. Dr. Saperstein goes on a rant against manufactured supplements and prefers something organic. While I'm sure the film didn't predict the internet, nor was it making observations about independence of thought, we see that Rosemary is under pressure to not think on her own when it comes to her health. The use of paranoia is also noteworthy in Rosemary's Baby. Paranoia is normally used as an underlying tone, a negative attribute the protagonists must fight through or overcome. But here, paranoia is a relief valve, a defense mechanism. We want to see Rosemary fight back. She only needs a trigger. Her epiphany comes during another social event. Rosemary's party descends into a sad discussion about pain. She shows signs of independence. She does away with Minnie's concoction. Rosemary wants to see another doctor. These are harmless, justified decisions and a win according to the audience. But social anxiety returns as Guy fights her on them. In his way, he is fighting the world. Rosemary tries to find allies, someone, anyone, who can help her. But her stories are too fantastical to believe. While we believe Rosemary, no one else outside the coven will. We feel her anxiety, her powerlessness. She is reunited with her creepy husband and equally creepy doctor. The finale boils down to we putting all our bets on a weakened, vulnerable woman. The movie morphs into a different, foreboding tone. Rosemary thinks she lost her child. It's another uncomfortable experience before she uncovers the truth. When walking through a secret passage, she crashes a party with a knife in hand. It's a moment that should be filled with both surprise and panic. Like other examples of traditional horror tropes, it goes unbothered. No one really cares. Like the film, it's not about violence but emotional taunting. This is played literally when Rosemary's baby cries. Rosemary comes to the rescue and accepts her motherly instincts. While we do not see the baby's appearance, we see an image in our minds. That's where true terror resides. Let me know in the comments below, what did you find most frightening in Rosemary's Baby? This is Mr. Giacengi saying, Tannis root is impossible to find. Check out other videos on the channel. Thanks for watching.